Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain and I do daily Football Manager content, and today we're going to be looking at set pieces, setting them up, trying to exploit them to get the most goals that you can. If that sounds like something that you're interested in, make sure you hit thumbs up on the video, and of course subscribe if you are new for that daily football content, Football Manager content I should say. Now, the first thing you have in set pieces here is set piece takers. So you see here the set piece attributes. You've got corners, free kicks, long throws, and then the preferred foot. Honestly, the way I do it is I just let the players decide who's taking what. Now, there's a couple of reasons why I do that. The main one is laziness, if I'm honest, but also I don't want to forget to change it if I change players. So, but if you wanted to do it, you want to decide if you want an in-swinging corner, for example, or an out-swinging corner. If you want an in-swinging corner, you're going to want your left footers from the left side, your right footers from the right side. Otherwise, you switch them around. One thing that I find is that I basically forget to come and check this every game, so just letting the players decide, it will sort of default to the best man for the job. So that's the way I like to do it, and especially for things like penalties, it's it's a nice surprise who steps up for a penalty, who steps up for a free kick. If you want to do this, you can, but as I say, generally speaking, my best free kick taker will stand over a free kick, my best corner taker will take a corner, and your best throw-in taker will take the throw-ins. So it's just how detailed you want to get with it, really. But that's basically what these are here. Now, wouldn't necessarily, if the foot preference doesn't matter for a long throw. Obviously, you're not using a foot. It will make a difference for corners and free kicks, though. So if we go down here to the routines, and we can see here the thing that you have, the screen for corners. We'll start with those. Now, there's attack and there's a defense setup, so that's one thing to be aware of. And also, there's a left and a right. So don't set up left and then forget to do it from the right. Now, what you want to again, there's going to be different ways you do this. You see it in real life. Do you go zonal? Do you go man-to-man? As I think most people have come to do now, I sort of do a split between the two. So the way that I set it up is I have 4 man markers. I have 3 guys sort of zonally marking on the 6-yard box. I have someone at the near post, just to try and prevent a near post corner sort of sneaking in at the near post. And then I have someone at the edge of the area and someone staying forward. So we've got that threat to then break from the corner. So what do you want from each position? Well, it kind of tells you, to be honest. You can see here, if we click on one of our man markers, we've got the jumping reach, we've got the marking now, and strength. Those are sort of the main ones that you want. And then the other things there obviously will help. So yeah, you can see, generally speaking, depending on how many players you have, what parts of the set piece, I guess, it's going to depend who you have where. Now, this guy's not necessarily the best. He's my centre back though, so I just have him there. I don't know why he's marking a tall player, but you can see here, you don't necessarily have to have them marking. They can just be player marking, and in fact, he probably should just be player marking. But I'll leave it at marked off. He probably should just be player marking. So you can see there, though, all the different positions that they can take up. You can see the way that I have it set up. This is just sort of the way that I've fallen to do things, but you can obviously play around with things as much as you like. Now, so you've got your man markers. I always think you want jumping reach, you want marking, and strength are the main ones. I'm not too worried if they can head the ball well or not, because they're trying to stop the other team from scoring. So as long as they can jump well, they're not going to get bullied off the ball, and they're going to stay with their man. That's all I really care about. Where the header goes, I don't really care, to be honest. As long as it's not in the back of the net, that's all good with me. So those are sort of the ones you want to look at there. Now, the zonal markers, doesn't really matter if they can mark or not, does it? Because they're not actually marking anybody. What you're going to want here is, this is where you do want your jumping reach, probably strength, but more so positioning, I would say, as well. Again, heading, I'm not too concerned from a set piece, because it doesn't, especially defensively, it doesn't matter where it goes, as I say, as long as it's not the back of the net. So typically, I find that this is a good place for a striker. They got the good jumping reach, but they're terrible at marking. So a striker I always find is good back here. Defensive midfielder perhaps is another good one. But you can see, again, not the greatest heading ability, but good jumping reach. So that is, yeah, because that's kind of what you want there. And the man on the post, it's always just, usually it's just my attacking midfielder that's just a little bit terrible defensively. And then you've got, I usually put my 2 wingers, one on the edge of the area that can run the ball out, and then somebody else that's pacey that can, then go and hit them on the break, potentially. So that is the way that I personally set it up. how you decide who is, for example, man marking and who is just zonal marking. It might even be a case of just adding up the numbers. So, add up the jumping reach, strength, and marking attributes. And if you want these other ones, if it's something that you value, then you can add those in as well, and just put whoever gets the highest tally in each of these positions. That might be the way to go. If I had somebody who had marking of, we can see here marking of 15, and even jumping reach was way lower, but I had someone whose jumping reach was high, but their marking was lower. I would rather have someone who can mark here because they're going to stay with their man and make it difficult for them, more chances than not. So I would rather have the good marker man marking and the good jumping reach guy sit here to sort of zonally head the ball away if it comes towards him. So that's how you would set up a defensive set piece. Now, a corner, I should say. If we go to attacking, now this is where it really does just come down to what you want to do. So the way that I set things up, I like to have a centre back near post, centre back far post, and I do tend to, with the corner taker here, just let them take where they want to take it from. Really, what I should probably do is, if my Magoma is who is my beast in the air, if he's at the near post, I should probably be telling my corner taker to send it to the near post, or you can see the other options there: far post, edge of area, 6-yard box. I just do mix just for my own sanity, just so it's a little bit changing up from here to there. But I have near post, far post, attacking the ball, and then usually someone at the edge of the area attacking the ball as well. Typically, those are going to want to be, especially near post, far post, you're going to want them to be your best headers of the ball. Best finishers, I always have marking, well, not necessarily marking, but lurking at the near post and at the far post, just to try and put away any chances that might fall their way. Edge of the area, you will typically want someone that, I don't really have anyone, but a good long shot, good first touch, and possibly good passing. We can see the attributes you want there, because they're going to basically clean up any ball that comes out to the edge of the area. You're going to want them to do that. Now, you could have, in theory, you could have two guys at the edge of, lurking at the edge of the area, or you could have, like I have, usually my fullbacks will stay back. I'll have a midfielder or somebody else that's not particularly good getting forward would stay back. Actually, I think he takes most of my corners, to be honest, so I probably need to look at that. And then someone just lurking at the edge of the area. And then I usually put somebody in there marking the keeper as well, just trying to make life difficult for them. But you can see here again, you have all these options that you can have. I think it's a limit of 2 people lurking outside the area, and I think it's a limit of 2 people marking the keeper as well. Maybe just the one. I'm not completely sure on that one, actually. No, he's marking the keeper, so it's probably just one. If we go here, yeah, you can only have one. You can see there it'll say swap, whereas for these positions you can only have one person doing it, but you can also see that lurk outside area, you can have 2 lurking outside the area. And then that is, so that's how you do an attacking corner, or sort of arrange it. Again, just make sure you have players in the positions that benefit their strengths. Again, my ball-playing defender, probably not the best example of who to have up there, but he does his best. Now, it's similar, very similar, in fact, for free kicks. I tend to, especially these ones, the where you're going to shoot the direct free kicks. If you're doing sort of more indirect, again, you can. I've been lazy here, if I'm honest. I haven't really set that up. You can see I've set up my zonal marking, the guys there to head the ball away. I haven't really done anything else, which is on me. But again, you can, if you go here, you can have just go back, where they're back, but they're not having a specific role. Again, you can see mark player, mark tall player. You can have guys on the edge of the area. You can have up to 5 guys marking zonally, so that depends how zonal marking you want to be and how man marking you want to be. I found 4 and 3 as a good mix, but obviously there's different ways that are going to work differently for different teams. If you have yourself a situation where you have guys that are just a team with no one with good marking, zonal marking might work for you. Just line them up and just head the ball away when it comes in. But I've never actually tried being 100% zonal marking. I've always had a couple of man markers there as well. But yeah, it's basically the same, setting it up from a set piece as a corner. The options are very similar. There might be 1 or 2 that are different, but for them, which this really annoys me, but for the most part it's the same basic options, and it's attack, it's again the same basic options. Again, I just have for free kicks to go forward, because well, the free kicks can be from different positions. I don't know if if a free kick sort of from down here. I mean, it says a deep, so a deep free kick, but a deep free kick could be here from a wide area, in which case it's sort of more of a cross in, similar-ish to a corner, or it could be from sort of the center circle, in which case there is no real near post, far post. So I just tend to let them just tell the guys I want to go forward, and then just sort of let them figure it out from there. But again, if you want to be a little bit more hands-on-y, then you can do that there, and it's the same thing for defending as well. Very, very similar idea to what it's from for a corner. Then you've got your throw-ins. If you have someone who's a really, really good long thrower, defensively, again, you can kind of see we've got a basic setup there, but it's not. It's, to me, a throw-in is just defending like you would any other situation. But if you've got a really good long thrower, which I don't necessarily have, but you might want them in an attacking situation here to be able to launch a ball into the near post. And for example, if I did have a good long thrower, I would have Magoma standing up here at the near post, and he would be there. We'd be throwing the ball in. We'd be trying to find him, and you can see there, lurk at, actually, is it lurk or is it no attack? There it is there. So that's what I would be wanting him to do. But I don't have someone who's a good long thrower to sort of exploit that, so I don't worry about it. But if you do, and especially if you can get the player trait of develop a flat bullet throw, then you can definitely look to exploit this here. But if you don't, typically just leave it as it is and just use it as a way to restart play and continue the play as you would have it otherwise. But there we go. So that is set pieces. It's important. You can score a lot of goals from them. You can concede a lot of goals from them as well. But it's definitely worth taking some time to set these up. I do have a general tactics tutorial as well as many others. So go and check those out if you haven't already. And I will see you. Come join me at Grindavik. We're trying to win the Champions League, and what could go wrong? Take care.